Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Lands Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Red Team or Team 1 up here to the northeast, ending with Team 2 or Blue Team down here in the southwest. Starting off with the easternmost player of Team 1, it is Funk Off, going first land as a Seraphim in orange, the color orange, and he is an almost 1500 rated player. To his west, we have No Red For You, sporting the Chevy Crimson color, saying to his teammates and to his enemies on the other side of the map, no red for you, going first land as a UEF and as a almost 1600 rated player. To his north, for Team 1, last player on Team 1 to talk about, we have It's Not Me, and seriously, it's not me, it's him. It is the player of It's Not Me, going first land in Ruby Red as a Seraphim, and he is a 1400 rated player. So for Team 1, for their racial makeup, we have a UEF, a Cybran, and a Seraphim. No Aeon technology here for Team 1 or Red Team. Starting off with Team 2 in the southwest or Blue Team, we have Katawanga going first land in Stitch Blue as a Cybran, and he is an almost 1400 rated player. To his north, in the middle, we have Celine Voleri. I think that's how you say that. Going first land, second air as a UEF in Royal Blue, an almost 1800 rated player. And last but not least, for Blue Team, we have Nabawasa going first and second land in Amethyst Purple as a UEF, and he is a 1400 rated player with a 50, so 1452 rated player. And for Team 2, for their racial makeup, they have two UBF and a Cybran. So no Aeon technology for either team and no Seraphim technology for Team 2. Apologies to those who are devout followers of the princess. Let's take a look at Reclaim here so far. We have currently left on the map 9,000 mass for our players to scoop up. That's a little, what is that? 1.3k mass per player? About 1. It's 1.5. It's 1.5k mass per player. That's not a lot, but it's also not. It's not nothing. So you got to take what you can get. But in terms of mass points, we saw that there are spots for at least one more player on either side of them. Actually, two more. So our players will have 2 sets of core mass. The 2 players on each team will have 2 sets of core mass, as well as outlying mexes, and really the only hot-bedded points of contention will probably be this middle section of the map here. We see a line of mexes on the eastern and western sides of these really just one-off mountain, hill, mounts, thingamajiggies in the middle. And there's a little bit of water, maybe a calm or 2 will hide in there. I highly doubt it, though. It's far removed from the main bases. Very risky to put your calm out there, especially if you get some spy planes rolling over there. They're definitely going to notice sooner than later. And in terms of early aggression, I don't see any bombers as of yet. I think everybody went first land. It is, not a 20 by 20. It's probably a 15 by 15, but with 3 players in each team, the long front line to manage. And so everyone's going to go land. And if they don't, that side is going to suffer, at least in the early game. We have a nice little air scout. Going to notice where that comm is for Team 2's player of Katawanga. It will not, oh, there it goes. It's like it will disappear shortly. And there it goes, getting a nice little read out on the enemy. Early intel, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes early, isn't super important. You kind of know where the enemy bases are just based on your positioning. So you don't have to know right away. If you wanted to go first bomber and then maybe air scout, I can understand that. The air scout is mainly used to scout the bases, so then you can send a bomber out to target a couple of either engineers or PGens or whatever the case you want to target. Maybe even the mexes directly, whatever the case may be. So if you're not going to go bomber rush, then there's no need to go for an air scout that early. You could focus on interceptors in general, but it is obviously just nice to know where kind of the direction all the comms are going early on, especially with a long range of front line you have to manage. You kind of want to know where players are starting to move. But in terms of front lines, Team 2 sending 2 of their comms to the southeastern side and sending 1 to the northwest. Team 1 doing a 1-and-1 approach, and the comm of No Red for You still in his main base. That's definitely going to be a deficit for Team Red here on the land portion of things. He might go full eco or portion of eco, so he might try to ramp up his mass income quickly to then supplement with either T2 forces. But he is pushing in the middle with a couple of his strikers and a couple of snoops here. There he finds some rogue strikers from the enemy side of things. There is a T1 radar. Would love to see that be shot at just by that. Oh, nope. Come on, just one shot. There it goes. Okay, they do take it out in the middle, blinding the opponent in the middle. Not that he really has a lot of forces to attack with after that, but at least, taking some time to just annoy Team 2. We do have a gun speed and range upgrade for Funk to the east. He is sending his forces further south away from his commander, and they're going to run into the enemy commander of Katawonga and his forces. Not going to go very well for him on that side of things. Comms on this north section of the map, Nabawasser and It's Not Me going in opposite directions, going, we don't need to throw plasma at one another, we can wait. But a transport out from Team 2's player of Seal is dropped off, takes out a Mechs. It's going to take out another Mechs, and now Team 1 has to divert more resources to dealing with this. Would love to see at least some T2. Yep, we see that has now been started. Ilshi's on the way here for Funk, getting that technology out right quick. He's the only one in the game to have T2 tech. Skipped a lot of that T1 phase of going for the early Thams and Zuis, but went for Ilshi's. Probably the better play, considering it's such a long way to travel in terms of, look at all the land you have to cover. It's so much. It's not a 20x20. This would take forever if it was a 20x20 with 3 players. That's why it's not 20x20. It's like 15 at that. Gun speed and range going down for It's For Me to the north. And we do see some plasma being thrown at one another between Seal. I want to say, keep saying Seal, but Seal and Funk. But Funk does have the gun upgrade. Seal does not, and that will give the advantage to Funk, drive him off, allowing him to escape. Units maybe are starting to engage, kind of, sort of, maybe, possibly. I know they want to, but is it worth it? Not so much. Intel installation does go down. Ilshi starting to make their appearance around the map. They dealt with that group of units that dropped off here by Seal, and now getting some nice veterancy on that commander. Hasn't gotten the first rank yet, but a huge opportunity for Team 2. If they push right now, which there's no way they can know this, of course, but there's hardly anything to defend with. Use that air scout, find out what's in the way, and then push northward. There's only a couple of Slens nearby, not a lot of defenses. And on the western side, it's kind of just hanging out, not really a lot of aggressive plays. We see another transport out from Seal here in the middle. And now No Red for You is pushing on the land a little bit, but the transport does get shot down. Units do land, but they are going to come against that commander and not really feel good. T2 has been completed for everybody on Team 1. Team 2 only has an T2 air headquarters and a land headquarters. And that's only by 1 player for Katawonga. The other 2 players have not gone tech as of yet. And that's starting to kind of be to their advantage for now. Team 1 doesn't have as many units on the field. It's For Me is being surrounded here. Units are coming in to assist, but it's not really looking good. They're gumming up his, not tracking, but pathing here to kind of just delay him, allow Nabawasser to keep railing him with that plasma cannon. I don't know what the name of the main cannon is on the commanders. Plasma cannon, I guess. But It's For Me is in the yellow, sub almost 3,000 hit points. It's going to fall into the red here pretty shortly. Nabawasser still at a little under 10,000, but Nabawasser cannot get away. You can see that range. He needs to get beyond that point, and It's Not For Me is really struggling here. He either needs a transport to just hot evac himself, or he's going to die here, even if the comm of Nabawasser just decides to take the hit point loss. All the units have been killed off, and now Nabawasser has no support. Mantis are firing into him constantly now. He's trying to chase down It's For Me. It's For Me does have the gun upgrade, and he has T2 Stingers support here from Seal. Interceptors will deal with that right quick, and he's below 500 hit points. Overcharge goes in. There he goes. The comm of It's Not Me is down. Nabawasser gains a rank of veterancy. but is really far forward. He needs to get back to base very quickly. If no gunship, it would have been a draw. 3,000 hit points. It would have been closer for sure, but I don't know if it would have been a draw. He probably would have been down to like 2,000, maybe 1,500. I'd say 1,500, 2,000 more hit points less. Sounds about right, but 2 gunships, no, it didn't really matter a whole lot. Catawanga and the comm of Seal pushing this southern section of the front line for Team 1. Funk is in a way here. He has T1 PD. He's going for an upgrade. Don't know what he's going for. He has gun. Maybe Nano? It says, but used to have T2 and decent eco. I had gun. He did not. 3K still. Yeah, I mean, Team 1 is like, hey, you know, you did good. It wasn't the best, but hey, it wasn't too bad. You have eco. That does supercharge Team 1's player of No Red for You at 120 mass per second. And that is most of the mass for his team. Between 2 players, he has, you know, 2/3 of the mass, which is kind of fair because he's 2 players essentially now, or 2 players worth of mass. But Team 2 is going to exert that overwhelming pressure with APM taxation against their enemy team. But we have PD starting to be built by 2 players. Well, these, why is one handed off to from? No, there's a Sparky nearby. That's why. We have some PD going to start solidifying this eastern side. We see interceptors over the top going after P-gens. Not interceptors. We see gunships going after P-gens. Interceptors running interference for said gunships. This position up here to the north is starting to be kind of picked and prodded and punching through here to the north for Team 2. And Team 1 really struggling to just hold it in. They strike a nice, you know, kind of balance here to the south. They lose the north, of course. We have, of course, Nabarwasser pushing with his forces, retreating with his comm. Funk using his nano and gun comm to just pressure Team 2 constantly. We have T2 forces from the Ilshis here for Funk. Couple of Corsairs run over the top. Don't do a heck of a lot of damage. It is, of course, 76 hit points a second. There is some AA in the way of T1 mobile, so not a lot of damage, but just is able to shoo those off for now. Of course, Funk is going to repeat his, you know, attack. There is some T2 Rhinos in the mix here for these 2 comms here. And still, it is a 2v1. One is badly wounded in the yellow. Funk is going to just keep pushing, though. You can see they can see the radar signature there. And it's not looking good. They're just going to keep going. It does look like they're going to stop here for a little bit. And Funk, if he isn't too careful, he could be caught unawares with Corsairs on his way. We do see T2 flag here, so they'll be able to deal with those Corsairs once they make their bombing run, but then they actually stop. But T2 forces diverted to the north, and T3 now on the cards here for No Red for You. Sub at 13 minutes. No one has T3 air as of yet, and Team 1 doesn't even have T2 air. So that's going to be an advantage for Team 2. We have 2 players on Team 2 going air. I wouldn't be surprised to see T3 here pretty shortly. And, of course, since it is, you know, 3v3, T3 isn't that important at 13 minutes. It's only when you get to, like, you know, 4, 5, 6. Because it's a lot of land, a lot of, you know, area to cover. Units running around the map constantly. You need land a little bit more than you need air. I mean, T2 at best for now, and then probably at 15 or so minutes, then go T3, depending on your position. I mean, if you're leading with land, keep pushing land, or fall back and build up eco or something. But stealth on the way here for Catawanga. That'll help with his hit point region, of course, because they'll go nano next. We see the comm solely of Funk pushing off 2 commanders and their army as well. So he has a huge advantage in the southeast section, which obviously Team 1 is starting to fight back here in the northwest with T3 versus T1 tech, and that is not going to go Team 2's way of Nabarwasser. Those loyalists, like, one of them will die, but realistically, it's not going to go very well here for Nabarwasser. He needs at least T2, if not T3, at least Titans, if not... I mean, Titans could fight back. Percy's a lot better. He's going for Nano for his commander. Only gets back up to 6,700 hit points from 3,500, so... I thought it was 37. Not close enough. So he needs to get that regen sorted right quick. We have transport running around the map here. Interceptors chasing it down, will destroy it. Interceptors will be killed off here. There's just a high number of interceptors for Team 2. And Team 1 does lose a T2 Mechs, but then it kills off that Lobo. Looks like it landed in the middle, and there was some loyalists nearby to deal with most of those units. But that push to the west keeps going on. A couple of T3 units lead the charge with a couple more in tow and a couple of Rhinos as well. There's not a lot that Nabawasser can do. He does have some T2 pillars in the mix, but you know, it's a T2 and T3 versus T1 and T2. Doesn't really side with Team 2 unless he has a vast number of them, which in this case, really, once the T2 pillars are gone, that's essentially it. He'll deal with most everything else really easily, and then now the loyalists are just targeting the eco. So realistically, he is really suffering here. Team 2, like, you can see the large area that they've just cleared for them. And now Team 2 is being hemmed in, killing off the player of It's Not Me. Kind of early on, it's now damaged Team 2's ability to fight back for now. They can come back, of course. This match lasts, I think, almost an hour. So, you know, it's not like they'll lose at 25 or 30 minutes. But, you know, you can see the advantage of, you know, giving essentially a third of the eco to another player to total 2/3 is not really beneficial this early on. And we're talking about players from 1400 almost to 1800. So that, you know, it's kind of should be in the back of our minds of, should I kill this player off? Because if I do, the eco goes to somebody else, and is that a good idea now? Later on, like at 45, 50 minutes, it's not, well, 40 minutes, it's not a huge issue because, you know, players usually have obviously a bigger eco by then. But early on, I mean, look, we have No Red For You at 166 and Funk at 108. And in terms of Team 2, nobody even has 80 mass a second yet. So that's a huge disadvantage. We have these Corsairs flying over the top, targeting these loyalists here, but again, not really doing a lot of damage. We are seeing some T3 Percivals here from the player of Seal in the middle here. And we see T3 tech here from the way of Nabawasser. So we are seeing some technological advancements here for Team 2. I would like to see air here for Team 1. Oh, no, okay, I say that. He has air. It's online, and he's building ASFs as we speak. So forget what I said. He has T3 air. That's a pretty even in terms of tech, but in terms of eco, I mean, almost leading by 100 mass when it's a, you know, essentially a 3v2. Well, no, it is a 3v2 actually in this point. Not really the best situation to be in, but they can come back. You're never fully gone. No one's ever really gone is the quote that keeps that came to mind. But splash on the way here for Funk. Maybe he'll go advanced nano and just be really chonky, but we'll see as time goes on. Of course, large army of T1, T2 with a lot of shields will well, I don't know if it'll be sufficiently enough to ward off all of Team 1's attacks from No Red For You, but at least we'll make him rethink attacking. Because how many hit points is that? 3,000 for shield. That's 12,000 additional hit points. You know, that's a decent chunk. We have loyalists at 3,000, so essentially we have 4 loyalists worth of hit points. We even have No Red For You with some loyalists and shields for himself as well, and some pillars to assist as well. So, you know, both teams need to be cognizant of the land in this game because, you know, it can get big very quickly. I mean, just go to show down here. We have Funk shooting a bunch of PD off against the commander of Katawanga, and that gun is almost done. Once that finishes, I feel like Funk is just going to push again. Team 2 could try to divert to an experimental, but it's too early right now for their ecos to do so. We have not seen anybody on Team 2 cross 100, and it's almost at 20 minutes in the game. Team 1, on the other hand, has a player at 200 mass a second. And even if we took half of that away, it would mean that Team 1, if It's For Me, It's Not Me, was still alive. They would each be over 100 roughly. And now the attack does commence. Of course, that gun upgrade is almost finished. I feel like Katawanga should have pushed earlier, but since that gun will finish, the comm of Funk will not retreat. 97. Pings go down to target the comm directly. 98. 99. He'll stay here to finish it. He's going to die, though. So it was not too late. Now it's a 3v1 in favor of Team 2. And now all of that eco is in no red for U's hands. Was 99%. Dude, what the heck? It was done. That's definitely frustrating. But it just goes to show Catawonga did make the right call of taking out the commander when he did. However, that again puts all of the eco. You should rush it, not slow build, I guess, as it's not me. At this point, yeah, just eco everything up and you'll scale very quickly. At almost 400 mass a second versus 260. That's a huge advantage, especially at 20 minutes. And at this stage in the game, let me know how you feel. Who's going to win? Obviously, in terms of players leading, how many players left alive. Team 1 only has 1 left, but Team 1 does have the better eco, better map control, and they're even assaulting the main base of Seal in the, well, not in the interim, but right now. We have PD trying to defend what they can. They are loyalists. They don't have as many hit points as Bricks do. They haven't done a significant amount of damage yet. There's a decent amount of defenses. The comms nearby, shields as well. This push didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Probably we should have waited for either some air support or waited for Bricks to appear. But at least does distract Team 2 just a little bit. Drop some mass on this door just to help them out a little bit. But I don't think that was the best play. But yeah, let me know down in the comments who do you think is going to win currently. Leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed it so far. And hit that sub button down below if you haven't done so already. And for those that just did, do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And to the west, we have another push. This time a little bit more, not as aggressive. I was not conservative. That's not the word I want to use. But we are seeing the redirect function on those loyalists. They can essentially fire an infrared laser against the missiles and redirect them to the point of origin, and none of them have T3 mechs. We have better eco. If this guy can handle 3 players, have good chance at win. Yeah, just like It's Not For Me just said, they have the better eco. They don't have T3 mechs. I agree 1 XP will win this. I don't think 1 experimental will win this. Team 2 does have T3 tech, so they can group together. We'd love to see full T3 scout. Yeah, that would probably be a good idea to see what Team 2 has in their coffers and in their purview currently. But Catawonga is reclaiming that front line. We see a little bit of a drawback on Team 1 side of things for no red for you. He has to retreat, build a fire base up. Is again he has to now use all of his APM for everything. Well, he had to use his APM anyways, but his APM is very much taxed, and it's only 22 minutes in. That definitely accelerates the rate at which people gain subcom brain. And so as long as Team 2 can hold out and either do a nice economic damage, maybe strap bomber rush, really just kind of kneecap Team 1's player of no red for you, I can see that going their way if they can get to T3 tech, which they have, and then build some strap bombers to do so. I haven't seen that yet. Team 1 does have air control. They have the better numbers, of course. And we have no red for you retreating, of course, on the western side. Probably build a base probably around this mechs. Probably build one here and probably build one here just to kind of cover that avenue of attack. He does have a fire base in the middle, and there's nothing in the middle to grab. And so he does have a couple of PD. He does have a Percy here to the west. He does have some early warning systems. Interceptors go forward. There goes a fighter bomber. I think it was, yeah, it's a Corsair. There it goes. This has Pursley's mostly. We do have, of course, the players of Team 1 who have died being the men in the chair. Can't say man because there's 2 people who are dead. But it does look like Team 2 does spot the monkey that was being built by No Red For You. It's in his... is this his original base? Yes. No, this is his original base. This was It's Not Me. Make more PD and shield over Omni, says Funk. Where's the... I don't see the Omni. That's not Omni. Oh, the Omni's right here. Yeah, just so we can get some vision. It is... The range is enough to see, I think, the entire map, especially being that far forward. Team 2 isn't going to be more aggressive. They're going to play very defensively. They do not want to engage because they'll just put them at themselves at a disadvantage. They want they want No Red For You to come to them. That would be the way that I would play it if I was any one of these 3 players on Team 2. Team 1, No Red for You has to be aggressive, because if he doesn't, he has 3 players to kill. They only have 1. So he needs to at least eliminate somebody. Hopefully, either the highest rated player. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's the best skilled at the game, but that is a nice target. It'd be the middle of the base. So it'd be a lot of, it'd be a nice open hole for either forces to move from the east or from the north to kind of pincer maneuver that other section of the base that he would be going after he destroyed the middle. But we do see a nice force grouping up here. We have some Othams. We have AA. We don't have lightning tanks yet, but we have more Othams on the way. It looks like it's going to be purely Seraphim to the east. I think it's going to be a mix of UEF and Cybran to the north. We are seeing a decent group of units here. A couple of spearheads. They throw a lot of missiles out pretty quickly. And we are seeing that group of Othams keep pushing. Like I mentioned earlier, Team 2 just has to wait, essentially. Wait for for No Red for You for attack. Monkeylord at 15%. It's not me. And that's where, looks like they're going to divert a little bit to the east. There are a group of forces, moving to this hill section, or this ramp section, to head off those enemy units that are inbound. But these units can just, corkscrew their way around. They can hook maneuver around to the south as these units have pulled out of position. So that's kind of the hard part, is when you start grouping together, you kind of, you either spread your lines thin, or you put all your eggs in one basket. And it's kind of hard, at least this early on, to do both. You have to choose one or the other, so there will be losses. But the Column of Catawonga will charge forward, kill an Otham, and go, nah, it's fine, I'm done. He has 4 ranks of veterancy, though, 8,000 mass killed. But he kills another Otham. That will definitely reduce the incoming damage. I think the Calm of No Red for You is thinking of killing a commander, but he's not pushing with his Othams. The air units are being eviscerated by that flak, but the Othams are being taken out as well. A large number of T2 can deal a lot of damage to T3 if given the opportunity. And now we have No Red for You with 1 sniper bot underneath shield coverage, but all Team 2 has to do is push, and that position has to be withdrawn from. We see a nice push to the north. It does look like No Red for You is trying to do a multiple fronts attack, where he attacks one side, draws back, then attacks the other side, draws back, and does the other, same back and forth. It's kind of hard to micro both attacks at the same time. And we are seeing that Monkeylord, the first experimental of the game. Spider making a comment here by Naberwasser. Where is his Monkeylord being built? I think a second one has now built for No Red for You. And I would assume he'd go Monkey because it is cheaper. Yet it is the Monkey, building 3 more after that. Titans are pushing forward, and some Loyalists and assists. There's only T1 and T2. There's no T3 in this mix. So this is not really going to go well once that front line is done. We have T1 PD protecting T2 PD. But now we have the Monkey pushing a different side. Don't really agree with that push. Should be with those forces. But they are going to keep pushing southward. We do have those units from Team 2 trying to engage. The Monkey is, decently wounded, considering Percy's are very effective at taking out experimentals with their high alpha damage. Titans, not so much. You can see how long it takes them to chew through 1 Percy's hit points. The Monkey should have pushed with those Titans to the west. And that push to the south does occur once again. Catawonga and assisting forces do to shove it off. They prevent the penetration attack once again. Does look like the Monkey is trying to just play, hot potato with the defenses here. A couple of Titans trying to get back, but they die. Doesn't really go very well. The Percys have now intercepted the Monkeylord here. He's going to keep going south. He's going to keep going south. Just keep ignoring that front line. Just constantly pull those forces off of it from the north. You only have T1 Medusa on the way with a bunch of Percy. That Percy is on top of that hill. Didn't know you could climb that. That's good to know. A bunch of interceptors just buzzing around that Monkeylord. The second one has been completed and is coming up the middle. It does look like maybe the 2 monkeys will join up and push together. Team 2 needs... Yep, there it is. There's the Monkey. It has been completed. And Team 2 essentially has the better set of defenses. They have bricks, they have Percy's, they have some PD and TML, so Team D's. We have spearheads, shields, Percy's, one monkey, which is better than no monkey. And Team 1's no red for you. Honestly, I don't see as many forces as I would expect to have at 730, 740 mass a second. I think he's holding back. I think he's gearing up his eco a lot more, and I think that's what he's doing. He's keeping Team 2 busy, constantly building defenses and units, and trying to just essentially buy time where he goes for maybe a game ender soon. He has the mass for, well, in this type of game, I don't think he has the mass for it, but those units are going to chase after that monkey. Will they be called back is the question. I don't know. We have transports being shot down by ASFs, not really the most important thing. But the monkey to the south, there's still a nice defensive line with the monkey in defense as well. So no red for you. Cannot catch a break here. Cannot just get in with the defenses distracted. Medusa just tying up the PD up there. Not really doing a whole lot. Another monkey down the middle. Now 2 monkeys in the middle could be something. Those units are pushing forward. They are not stopping. They're going to go straight for that comm. And I don't think that's a good idea. The units probably should be retreating with 2 monkeys. The other monkey needs to move. The other monkey needs to move. The laser opens up. Alpha strikes go out. Deal damage. That monkey needs to engage. The pings go down for the monkey to move. And this monkey is all by himself with a bunch of Percy's. And there he goes. You can see how quickly Percy's can kill a Monkeylord. Even if that monkey had assisted, it probably wasn't the best idea. And there it goes. There's just too much high alpha damage. Second monkey is going to fall here. Oh, it's going to hurt. There he goes. Kills, I'd say, half the Percy's. Would have been better if both lasers were active at the same time, but I don't know. Team 1's player of no red for you struggling. I don't think he's very good, says Funk to It's Not Me. That 2 Monkeylord would mess with Percy's. If he did attack at the same time, he can't handle it. We have Othams coming in to intercept that Monkeylord, but we have bricks intercepting those, as well as the monkey now firing into those bricks. Sorry, those Othams. We have Percy's to the west that could have assisted this fight. Didn't do much. Percy's lining up in the middle. Team 1's no red for you. Really struggling with the APM. Obviously, taxation. And those units are eviscerated as well. He's really struggling. I was on his team. Something about he suicided his comp last game that Funk was in. Sometimes you have off days, and, sometimes you have really good days, and you play above your skill rank, and sometimes you play below your skill rank. It's just, you're never that ranking at all times. It's more of like, I feel like your ranking is more of what your average play is versus what you are all the time. You can go obviously higher or lower than that. SMD done at 32 minutes 25 seconds. And yeah, it's done. Is there a nuke on his side of things? I don't see anything. He's just building a bunch of Monkeylords. Now he's building a crab. Maybe he built Fat Boys would be a good choice here to start just pummeling those defenses. Forcing Team 1 to engage. That'd be my strategy there. Since Team 2 is kind of just holding up in their main base. Build some Fat Boys and just launch artillery constantly. Force Team 2 out of their defenses and take out the units first, then engage. He is getting the reclaim though, which is good. Make chicken, says Funk. That's also a good option, because then you can just run the chicken straight into the base and take out defenses that way. All Factory 7 strats and kill their best ACU with surprise attack. Yeah, that was the strategy I mentioned for actually both teams. And he will win air at the same time. Yeah, there are lots of ways to win this. And he's right, and they're right. There are lots of ways to win this. You could go mass experimental. You could go strat bomber rush. You could go nukes. You could go, game enders, because he's already at 900 mass. He's scaling his eco pretty well. You could go game enders him pretty soon. And this force here to the north with a bunch of Percy's, A, doesn't have a lot of support, doesn't have air support or any sort of AA. B, is running into enemy territory, and there's a couple of fighter beetle. Ooh, Get a nice shot of these fire beetles en route. You can see they're actually cloaked too. There they go. Taking out some of those spearheads. There goes the long range artillery. And now we have a broadsword with no AA in the area. And no ASFs or air support to speak of. So now all of these will die. We even have a demolisher, and that's not going to go anywhere. Red Few has a ton of ASFs. We have over 120 for him versus Navarwasser's 41 with 3 bingo on fuel. So does call forth a couple of ASFs to deal with that broadsword, which is good. He's not using all of those ASFs to just die to this superior air force. We'll just send a couple just to deal with it. But, you know, there could have been some AA in this mix to help just deal with that and not have to worry about sending in gunships. We have a line of demolishers on the front line going for this fire base, built up to go for the reclaim. That shield will fall pretty soon, but honestly, a couple of strap bombers could come in and deal with most of this. The monkey will push, it looks like, with some Percy support, and there's really no Percy support down here as well, so now all Team 2's player Seal has to rely on is his artillery, and if he's going to save it, now is the time. You need to call that back. That monkey is inbound, and the closer it gets, the closer that front line is to dying. The demolishers are called back, but I think it's too little too late. The laser should be opening up here pretty soon. There it goes. All those demolishers are starting to fall one by one. Make T3 shields plus T3 AA to his support. Chicken says Funk. That yes, because I believe the T3 shields do cover most, if not all, of the chicken. We have PD being built up to just shoo that Monkeylord away, which it is good that he's retreating and not attacking, because there is this force here to the west that will just, you know, pincer maneuver, and the force to the east. A lot of this would have just pincer maneuvered that one monkey and dumped some mass on that front door of Team 2. We have another monkey here to the north and a bunch of missiles. These Vipers. Percys are charging the Vipers, but unfortunately the Percys are targeting the Vipers first. Gives the opening for the monkey to fire his laser a few times, killing some of those Percys off. There is a push here to the east. A group of Othams versus one monkey. It's not going to go very well, especially with brick support. Let's check back on that push. The Percys do not kill that Monkeylord off. It was close. Percys needed to target the Monkeylord first and then everything else. The Othams are just going to stand still while the monkey just runs into them. Now is the order to be, the order to attack is not a good idea. He is retreating them behind shield coverage and PD coverage. That will just shoo away Team 2. And Team 1, Red for you. He's not being perfect at everything, but you can see, that he has a nuke online, which is really good. He has T3 land everywhere. He should build another air grid, not here, maybe somewhere else, just to build like a secondary air grid. Has a crab online, which is good to see. Has essentially all T3 mexes, large amount of eco, almost 1,000 mass a second. Team 2 is catching up. They're at 859, but I don't see any plays to end the game from them. They're in the position where they build a couple of nukes, if they build the artillery, if they build a game ender, they're going to win. They have the more APM, they have more, not land mass, that's not the one I want to go for, more ability to cover for one another, because, no Red for you is just going to suffer from APM taxation and subcom brain. But the range on these crabs are just going to force these Percys back. Percys need to hide behind some mountains or hills or whatever to really get in close to that crab. That crab is going to push forward to use its range to its advantage, and then the monkey and other supporting forces will push. Team 2 hasn't lost a lot of infrastructure. Same with Team 1. And so there hasn't been rebuilding of air grids. There hasn't been rebuilding of mass extractors. It's really just been the frontline mexes, and that's about it. Artillery being built up to deal with this crab. These are from demolishers, not T2 stationary artillery. And the Percys are going to push forward. The Percys should come and assist this crab. The crab will start to retreat. Percys from No Red for You will come and assist as well. The laser opening up. Get some nice hit point damage. Is getting A couple of veterancy points. It will not make it out of there. Oh, other units are shielding him. The crab needs to keep walking back. The closer this large army gets, the easier it is for Team 2 to scoop up that reclaim if it does go down. And if they get in behind the crab, it is not a good situation as well. The monkey using the crab as shield. Big brother, help. Big brother. Big brother. Big brother, help. Hi, protect me, big brother. And it's really taking a lot of shots. The monkey does end up falling. The crab is now the main target. The crab should have been retreating. But there is another brother of a crab on the way. And there goes more and more Perseus. Targeting the Perseus first is the idea here. You want to take out the high damage units first and then deal with everything else. It's only AA in shield, so after the Perseus are gone, that's it. And now Perseus in from Team 1 will deal with the Perseus from Team 2. They'll be gone. This is a decent reclaim field here. Monkey here to the middle. Artillery constantly raining into that army there. No red for you is pushing with his chicken. There is a crab online for Team 2 as well, so that's not going to go very well. Those Perseus and remaining forces do retreat, but this reclaim field, which was, 2 experimentals for Team 1, of course. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the button I want. 53,000 reclaimed just in this section. That's nothing to scoff at. That's a decent amount. And that's actually mostly from no red for you, so he needs to reclaim that right quick. How's his nuke going? Well, it's almost loaded. Team 2 does have SMD loaded in the central position, but that's it. He can strike the base of Catalwanga. He can strike the base of Naboaster. Can't get the air grid, but it can get almost everything else. You need comprehensive SMD coverage. Having only one doesn't really do a whole lot for the rest of your, well, everything. We see the crab needs to fall back. The monkey is following suit. He wants to claim the reclaim first, which is obviously very important. So I would say after he gets the reclaim, try to get as much as you can, but just don't let your crab die. It's not worth the positive in mass if you can get some mass back, but then you lose the crab you newly built, so it's kind of a wash. It's not, again, not the best situation to be in terms of trying to, you lose mass to gain mass. But once he grabbed those experimentals, he's going to pull his crab back. Very good move here. Scoop up the reclaim that he can with the engineers and call it a day. He got the majority of it, and that's what is important. Of course, the comm of no red for you has cloaking? No. He's UEF. He should have... Wait, does he have problems with energy? Oh, yeah. Oh, he needs to get his energy production fixed right away. Building some P-gens to assist. Needs to stop building the chicken. I get it. You want to build the chicken. I get it. I love how this team can't win a 1v3 this seal. I mean, you're facing a more ecoed player who has control over everything. The APM is really what he's lacking. So, it's kind of hard to say, oh, it's 3v1, you should automatically win. That's not necessarily the case. It's more about, can you get rid of the eco advantage that other player has, then you'll win. But 2 chickens versus 1 crab, I don't know if the mass works out, but I feel like the chickens should have engaged and gone after the crab, but it is close to the Team 2 side of things, so you got to think about reclaim as well. There's a lot of things to think about in this game, but you got to think about it all on the fly. You can't plan things out. It's not like a turn-based game. This is an RTS. It is a real-time strategy. Every decision is made in the moment and not, you do turn 1 and then you do turn 2 and then you do turn 3. It's not like that. It's not like Baldur's Gate combat kind of scenario. We have Ravager creep, I think, starting to emerge here. Yep. On the front lines, lots of build power, lots of defenses. And I don't know. Let's see. So that's the range. They can fire to this point. What does the Ravagers go to? So it's about the same. Yeah, I think it's about the same. I think the Ravagers have it, I think, just by a little bit. It's hard to tell. I need the rings active at both times, of course. But the first chicken has fallen. Going after the crab. The crab is going to start walking into that ion storm. Not very good for your health. Standing in an ion storm. Not the best idea. The nuke has finished. Second one is a third loaded. Team 1's player of No Red for You, our only remaining player, really not struggling to finish the game, but is now building artillery, so he has a plan of action to win the game. And I feel like if he would have tasked the artillery onto the SMD, then after that launch the nuke and kill everything around that, that would be a good idea. You could go for this one down here as well. I think that's might be what he's doing. He's going after the P-gens. You know, there is a satellite online. That's never a good thing to worry about. You can see the satellite over the top. The nuke only has a shield, and now he's targeting the air grid. A lot of exposed P-gens, a lot of exposed power. Needs to you lost this, I think. Sat will, destroy you. Says it's not me. Artie says Naberwasser. We see a lot of these lightning tanks online just going to die to Crab and Brickfire, but 2 more chickens might be able to kill that Mega. He needs to launch. Go for it. Just go for it. Don't worry about it. You'll probably lose a chicken, but you'll win that fight, hands down. And now we have 2 crabs and a monkey gonna get back some revenge here. We see a crab on the way. We see more chickens being built. The chicken should walk into the bricks. Walk it into the bricks. You got to move. Don't put it under. No. Don't go backwards. It's not. I mean, I get it. You want to save the chicken's life. You did get the shield online very clutchly, so I give you there. But they're targeting the shield. There goes the shield. The chicken will actually survive. That's very surprising. Crab gets the final shot on that brick, though. My kill, says that crab. My kill. How's that air grid going? Well, lost some of it so far. Nuke is still online. How's the artillery going? Well, it's halfway done with its second disruptor. We do have, again, that satellite's the only long-range damage that Team 2 has. They've built another Fat Boy, but I don't see... There's really no effort. He is targeting the SMD. Good. That is what he should be targeting. The shield is down, and it almost kills the Nuke Eliminator. Only 100 hit points left. He's assisting the... Salee is finishing the shields, but he's having power issues, it looks like. Oh, he has... Wait, what? Hold on. He should be fine. He's not turning him on and off. I don't know what's going on with that. That's kind of weird. Huh. No one on Team 2 is having power issues. They have barely positive, but they don't have any power issues. That air grid is almost gone. But Team 1 does still have the advantage in the air. The crabs have pushed to the west, taking this base out. Probably should have focused this place. There is a crab. There is a monkey now. Team 1's No Red for You should have probably built some strats or gunships or something to deal with that Fat Boy. Fat Boy is targeting the further back crab first. Don't know if I agree with that play. Should be targeting the closer one. I know he wants to save that PD base, but it's not going to live that much longer. Crab pushing to the south. We have a chicken pushing to the south. One of the chickens died. Another one on its way. Now we start to see that enclosement where Team 1 or No Red for You is attacking essentially on all sides. We have artillery. 2 artilleries are online. This satellite should be targeting that shield and killing that nuke. He knows it exists. And there's that nuke. The nuke is launched. It tells me the SMD is down. It is not. Where is it going instead? It's targeting this position. Trying to go for those Fat Boys. The Fat Boys split the difference there. But with all that Air Force, he's not able to really use it. And that's Nuke Eliminator. Oh, it's going to stay online just barely. The crab does fall on the eastern side. The nuke will land, not killing essentially anything, just some some PD and some other defenses and shields, but that's it. Doesn't really get any value out of that nuke, unfortunately. Push to the east does fall back once again. Team 2 is holding on. The artillery is starting to be a little bit overwhelming, though. The shields are staying online for now. He's assisting them with all his might, though. We have upgrading to T3 as well. More P-gens coming online to help assist with energy production. And Team 1's player of No Red for You still has power to reserves, but is losing that slowly. I do love the satellite is targeting the exposed P-gens, though. If he takes out the shields, doesn't really have to worry about shields being online. Can take out this position. 2 artillery. Probably should build a third one and more shielding just for that extra PGens and those extra shields for defense. Team 2 isn't going for isn't going for artillery at the current moment. They are going for another satellite. Well, it started, it just hasn't completed. And the shields are not being assisted, so they will fall. The artillery will grab that air grid. And that satellite's doing a lot of work. It's paying for itself. Wait, hold on. Where do you see the... Oh, it's on this 27,000 mass. That's a decent chunk of mass. Shields are coming, up. One just came online just at the last second. They are slowly falling, though. Team 1's player of no red for you needs to do something with this force up here. Lots of engineers. He's scooping up everything on the map. He's building Gunthers. He wants to goad the Fatboy to target, or not target, but to push forward. The crabs are going to push forward. They can shoot at range on these Percys, so I don't know why he's pushing forward. It's just going to kill this first crab. Not really the best scenario here. Percy's hiding behind the crab. Percy should be in front, just so that they can at least take the damage while the crab gets... Well, I mean, there's arguments for both. I feel like in this scenario, he needs to do something with his Percys. They're not really being used. They're just sitting there. There are more shields coming online for that nuke. I was said Duke, but nuke to protect it. Would like to see, again, another artillery. I don't see anything online for Team 2. They're losing their air grid slowly. There is a second one down here. Teleporter coming online for Katawanga. He's going to go telemazer. We are at 49 minutes. And it's not... I mean, the eastern side is just kind of hanging out here. We have a lot of lightning tanks, a lot of AA, but nothing to fire on the ground. Lightning tanks can fire on the ground. They're just not as effective. But the crab and the monkey go down. The second crab is going to fall. We have Gunthers being spammed up as quickly as we can, which is a good strategy to fight off Fat Boys. But at this point, there goes that crab. And all of the artillery needs to hit the Fat Boy, not just the shield that's down here that has nothing underneath it. And of course, the artillery constantly firing. The satellite now going after mass? Going after now. No, yeah, it's going after pigeons. Okay. Still targeting the power generator stations for no red for you. How's his power generator going? It's still going. He's still online, so he's not struggling in that regard, which is good, but this shield is almost down for the Fat Boy. Oh, is it almost down? No, it's not even close to being down. Now it's targeting the Gunthers. The Gunthers should have been targeting the Fat Boy first. Not really the best idea there. Second Fat Boy to the west, pretty healthy. No red for you is collapsing on that northern side. We have one chicken pushing this eastern side with 4 more in support. And that's probably what he's waiting for. He needs to get these crabs close enough. Needs to just push the crab in. Just push the crab in. You'll kill a decent amount of bricks in that exchange, because the lightning storm's only going to damage your own units, and that's going to hurt. There's another another chicken on its way. I think I said crab for chicken and chicken for crab. I don't know. It's a lot of chickens, a lot of crabs this game. The crab is running away. Chickens are chasing the crab. Crab turns around, goes, I might as well die in a blaze of glory. Ion Storm will just pummeling into the friendly chicken here. It still hasn't died, though, surprisingly. None of them have. Team 2 is weak on this eastern side. They need more forces, and defenses just set up on this side of things. Build Team 1 bombers. Build gunships. Build something. Build Ravagers. Build literally anything, because 5 chickens is really going to hurt. And now we have the artillery raining in onto this nuke eliminator, which is still alive. I thought he killed it, but he did not. The assisting of that one shield still going strong. But 5 chickens might do Team 2 in. It is a 3v1 and has been for most of the game. But now I think No Red For You has some first bit of luck. He's going to, I think, get Katawanga. If Team 2 doesn't notice this, which they do, they can see vision. They have a soothsayer online. They know the chickens are inbound. Lots of air support behind them. I love that. Would like to see some Othams, but, you know, something's better than nothing. And here comes the wave of chickens. And it does look like the... Oh, is that... What is that? Oh, that was a Right, where'd the comm go? The comm was here a second ago. Oh, no, wait, did he teleport away? He teleported away. Catawanga kills the artillery, trying to get away. He does get away, just barely. That was a great... I was like, where'd he go? He disappeared. I couldn't even see him, but he's teleported over here. He's safe. He takes out the artillery. That was a great move by Catawanga, but his base is gone. Traded artillery for his base, but, you know, there's really nothing he could do about it, essentially. And there they go, running over the map. It's not feeling good here for Team 2. They have a Fat Boy in defense. You can see the lightning tanks just taking everything out of the sky. They can't keep multiple runs of bombers online. Even Corsairs are really struggling here. There's still, all 5 chickens are online still. This one fallen very quickly. Ravager's just trying to nail that chicken down, prevent it from coming into the range of its ions. But don't stop it. You need to keep moving. You need to keep those chickens moving. Ravagers being spammed up as quickly as they can. Those hit points are pretty strong on that chicken, though. All you got to do is drop it in that base. The SMD is still online just barely once again. There goes some pigeons, takes out some defenses. None of the comms have died yet for Team 2, except for Catawanga, who dies to PD and a comm. He had the shield on his commander. That saved him, really. Catawanga does die. And there goes the Control K out from Seal. He saw the game was over. The nuke was coming in anyway. It does get shot down by that SMD. A second nuke will land. And there goes the last comm for Team 2. And it is a come from behind victory for No Red for You. GG's out in chat. Good job. It was close. And man, I mean, the MVP goes to No Red for You. I don't know what else to say for that match. You know, he was 1v3 for a very long time. He was struggling with microing his units. He was struggling with trying to get some way inside the base. But Team 2 eventually let their guard down here. He pushed in with chickens. He still had 4 of them online. He built the artillery, which is a nice distraction. Catawanga almost got the kill on No Red for You, but that shield, you can see, had the shield not been built, No Red for You would have died, because he lost, was that 1,500 plus hit points on that shield, and that would have killed him. But he built the shield for defense, and he built some defenses. Should have built some T1 in this mix as well, but he sat here almost the entire game. Team 2 probably knew where he was for a very long time and did not really a lot about it, which is definitely an oversight. This nuke didn't really get a whole lot of work done. Did get 1 nuke landed, though. But it was, man, that was a really interesting game. That's the word I'm going to use for this game. And now he has strap. At 54 minutes, we have 14 strat bombers. Kind of late on that, but you know, better late than never. Had the chickens not worked, this would have worked. Team 2 only had light air defenses, though he had a backup plan. I love that. Was he rebuilding his artillery? No, he was not. I would have liked to see him maybe build 1 more to puncture through that shield in the middle, but he still pulled it out, so props to No Red for You. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I kind of right? Am I kind of wrong about my pick for MVP? Let me know down in the comments below. Please hit that like button if you have enjoyed this cast. And of course, if you haven't hit that sub button, I would greatly appreciate it. And again, thank you for those who have just hit that button. And for those who have been subscribed for a long time or just recently, thank you so much. And I will see all of you in the next one.